What's going on, crypto miners, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my ALEO miner. Oh man, it rained this morning. Anyways, we're going to take a look at my ALEO miner. We did get this back January 30th. It's actually really weird weather today. It almost feels like spring, and we're at the end of February. So let's go inside here, take a look. Uh-oh, we're not allowed in. There we go. All right, so let's take a look real quick. I want to show you guys kind of what we got going on. Also want to give you guys some feedback on this ALEO miner, as well as really talk about profitability. So we have these guys here because, as you guys can see, my Goldshell AE Box, the original, I guess the first ALEO ASIC miner that came out, is offline. And I've actually had to come out here several times over the last few days. And you can see, look, not powering on at all. So I think either the breakout board or the power supply is bad. My guess is the breakout board. These are only about 11 bucks. They go bad pretty often, and it's always good to have spares. So let me get these swapped out so we can start earning ALEO once again. Thank you to today's video sponsor, ASICmarketplace.com. If you're in the market for the top ASIC miners, look no further than ASICmarketplace.com. They have some of the best miners on the market in 2025. To name just a few: Bitmain, Antminer L9 and L7, the AlphaPex DG1 Plus, the Canon Avalon A15 XP, and many more. And oh, home miners, ASICmarketplace.com has you covered as well. The AlphaPex DG Home 1, the Bombax EZ100C, the IceRiver AL2 Lite, and many more. Finally, 3 big reasons I like ASICmarketplace.com. First, the price on their website is to your door. Shipping and import tax is included in the price. Second, they accept cryptocurrency as a payment method. And third, I've been working with them for over 2 years and never had a bad experience buying from ASICmarketplace.com. Go check out ASICmarketplace.com today and use my discount code to save $100 at checkout. All right, moment of truth here. Let's see. There we go. Heck yeah. All right, let's head inside and talk more about ALEO, and is it a good investment right now? All right, so we're back inside, and as you guys can see, our Goldshell AE box is back up and running. So we've actually had that issue for the last few days, so we'll keep that in mind when we start talking about profitability and looking at my payouts per day. However, something to keep in mind. So I've been running this for about 30 days now, and I was fortunate enough to get this box very early on, mostly a sample unit directly. And one of the things that I ran into, let's take the last 3 days with the power issues. Let's just scrap that, okay? But one of the initial issues I ran into, and I've seen it a few times over the last 30 days, is Goldshell did something different on their page here. So you can actually see there's a hash rate and a theoretical hash rate option. There have been a few times where I've seen the hash rate, because every day, I don't know about you guys, but every day I log on, check my miners, and not necessarily the miner, actually check the pools just to see, because that's really what pays me, to see, make sure miners are online, everything's performing as expected, no challenges. And there's been a few days over the last 30 days where I have found that this unit is not hashing. But when I come in here, I see theoretical hash rate, which is this new mechanic that Goldshell has added in as to like expected hash rate. It's really weird. I don't know why they added this. I don't know where the demand is. However, it hasn't been hashing, and a simple reboot of the miner has solved this. However, it's not self-correcting. It requires me to come in and reboot it. So I want to kind of give that feedback. I do feel that these Goldshell boxes, the AE box, and now there's an AE Pro, we're kind of rushed out the door to kind of get a few weeks of sales before we saw some competitors come online. I think they needed a little bit more kind of Q&A. Now, talking about other miners out there in the ALEO space, let's talk about it a little more, because this is a area that I feel like we as home miners have been burned several times with several situations. So if we take a look right now, we're over on Mining Now. I use this site all the time. We go over to ASIC miners, and we're actually going to change our algo. And some of you guys might not even realize this, but this is the ZK Snark algorithm is what we're actually using for ALEO. And right now, our box is on the bottom right now. Now, granted, it's still making $17.65 in profit a day if you are at 10 cents, which is wild because we're end of February and things are looking rather red across the board, except for ALEO mining. So taking a look at our AE box over here, if you're at 10 cents, you're right around $20 a day. I'm fortunate. I'm a little bit lower. I'm down in mid sevens. So I'm making, $20 to $25 a day, which is awesome. However, $17 a day as an estimate right now in a red market is still really, really good for a miner that's 360 watts. Now, oh man, it didn't keep my checkbox. That would have been nice. Okay, we'll go back to where we were. There we go. Now, the AE box, we'll open another tab here. This unit just kind of came out of nowhere, but this is typical. We've seen this before, right? We've seen this with Kaspa. We've seen this with Alephium, where Goldshell is traditionally first to market. Kudos to them for constantly being, right to market with a lot of these. Very forward thinking. Now, they don't perform as well when it comes down to efficiency, but a lot of first to market, a lot of profit can be made getting these things early. I always tell people like, hey, if you can get first batch, awesome. This is the AE Box Pro. I've actually seen a few other content creators that have gotten these in with sample units, and this is doing just a little bit more, 44 mega hash versus our 39 at 460 watts. So pretty much, I'm going to take a guess. This is the AE box, but cranked up 100 watts. That provides a little bit more hash rate. However, what we do have coming around the corner, and we have felt this many times with Kaspa and Alephium just more recently, is IceRiver is around the corner with a significantly higher performing device, 50 mega hash, at a fraction of the watts, 100 watts, which means it's significantly more efficient overall. And I know a lot of you guys, I've heard rumblings that a lot of you guys are just waiting for this unit instead of going with these Goldshell units, because you have seen this with Alephium, you've seen this with Kaspa, you've seen this with Dogecoin, all these other miners out there. It's been rinse and repeat. But a lot of you guys are hesitant, and I don't blame you. Why? Because we've learned our lesson. IceRiver is no dummy. We know for a fact that IceRiver is coming out with their version of this miner, the AE box, and we've learned our lesson. Let's take a look at Alethium. With Alethium alone, which is more current, we had a small little box miner come out and then a big boy miner come out, and you can really see the difference. 40 gigahash to 15 terahash on the AL3. And they did the exact same thing when it comes down to Kaspa. Kaspa, I mean, look at all the different miners that they came out with. They came out with the KS0 and the KS0 Pro. We have KS0 Ultra for these small home miners. We saw them the KS1, KS2, KS3. We've then seen, the KS5L as well. And we've seen a number of these units come out over time. The issue is these big boy miners just decimate the hash rate. And while I am in love with the fact of making $20 a day off of one of these small home box miners, which is outperforming most of the big boy miners in other algorithms, I'm also like, I know for a fact this will not last at all. And that's something that you guys need to keep in mind as well, that if there's success, which believe it or not, right now, it's a red market, blood in the streets this week. We're down to 84,000 for Bitcoin. If we continue to see success with these small miners, it is honestly, I give it weeks, not even months, before IceRiver drops their unit with their big boy miner. And we know who's not far behind is Bitmain. And Bitmain did this with Alethium, with the AL1, and they also did this with the KS5 Pro as well, where they've gone ahead and said, IceRiver, I like what you're doing, hold my beer, but I'm coming out with a big boy miner. Now, Bitmain traditionally comes out with things after IceRiver, and IceRiver's given time to breathe a little bit. We're able to see, those miners actually earn some money, because usually we got Goldshell, IceRiver, and then down the road is Bitmain, is how things work out. Leave a comment down below. Love to see your feedback on this cycle that we have seen with Kaspa and Alethium. Has it been profitable for you, or have you been burned? All right, so let's look at some numbers here. So looking at ALEO, the nice thing is as we've seen more of these AE Box and AE Box Pro come online, and there's no doubt to me that IceRiver has their miners online as well, which is the AE0, because they're supposed to be shipping in the next few weeks, actually, as we step into March. Look at our network hash rate. It hasn't skyrocketed, which has always been counterintuitive for us home miners trying to get into this early. Now, ALEO has been GPU mineable for quite some time, and we've seen more and more GPU miners drop off of ALEO as more of these ASICs have come online. But I like what I see when it comes down to the network hash rate. It is not straight upwards like we've seen with other projects like Kaspa or Alephium over the last 6 months. Jumping over, looking at ALEO, we don't have a ton of pools out there. But one thing I want to point out to you is, let me stretch this out a little bit, is taking a look right now. I'm on DX pool. There isn't a lot of pools out there. F2 pool is available as well. But you can see, at least with the number of miners, at least reported by some of these pools, which isn't a lot, it's only about 4,392 miners right now that are actually online mining ALEO. Now, that is a combination of GPUs as well as some of these newer ASICs that we are seeing online, but it's not that many in the grand scheme of things. Now, let's jump over here. I got to resize this real quick. There we go. Looking at ALEO overall, we are actually seeing some decent numbers here for ALEO. I mean, ALEO right now is about 37 cents, and where it has definitely come down from, where we've seen its all-time high at $6.79. Now, granted, that was a while back. We're still at 37 cents right now, but something to look at and something that makes me go, is the market cap is 125 million. On top of that, the volume in the last 24 hours, 10.15 million. And a lot of that is really alluding to the fact that Coinbase does actually support ALEO, which is wild to think about. Now, most likely that was purchased as a money market maker type of event. Regardless, it is great that it is on Coinbase to allow more liquidity to occur. When we look at other projects in this space, we look at Alephium. It's only 53 million for our market cap and doesn't even have 1 million for the volume in a 24-hour period. On Kaspa, now granted, 2 billion for the market cap, but it's only at 58 million for the 24-hour time period. So for such a young project, we are seeing the numbers don't lie. It's up 1.93 in the last 24 hours for the market cap, and over 12% higher when it comes down to our volume for trading with ALEO. So ALEO seems to have some decent sustainability even at such a high liquidity. All right, so let's take a closer look at how this unit has performed and what my actual profitability has been. Now, as I talked about the last few days, we've had some issues with our power supply or that breakout board. So I'm going to kind of scratch them off because as we kind of come down here and take a look, my last payout was actually on the 24th, which I'm not surprised just based off of up and down downtime with those power supplies. So let's kind of cross off anything in the last few days. And let's actually just take a look here. So I want to go back, and kind of scroll through. You can see we've gotten a number of payments here over this time period, but let's go right in the middle, time period. And we can see here, just taking a look, we're going to jump to the 10th of February. We're seeing 52 ALEO on the 10th. We're seeing 46 ALEO on the 11th, 51 on the 12th, 47 on the 13th, 54 on the 14th. So we're seeing kind of this back and forth based off of that payout time period where it seems like we're seeing anywhere, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to say we're seeing anywhere between 45, 46 up to 54. Now, if we take a look here at, our current time period, we can see the 15th though was at 37. So maybe I did have some downtime then that I talked about, but then the 16th, 49, 17th, 54, 18th was 60. So we are kind of all over the place a little bit. So what I want to look at is I'm going to put an average out there and say we're about, let's say 52 is where we're at for ALEO per day based off of these numbers here. And you can see it's bounced back and forth a lot. So when we go over and we're looking at CoinGecko, we're going to type in 52 here. We're about $20 a day based off of that number. And some days it's better. If we bump this up to 60, which that was an extreme there, we're at $22 a day. And if we go down to that, we saw 137, that was $13, but we saw a lot more of 45, which is about $16.8 a day. And as I talked about, like ALEO's only at 37 cents, which gives me a lot of hope here of like, man, this could just go up a tiny bit and we could be doing really, really well, let alone double. Imagine if we are at 70 cents, like, and it's not too far out of the realm of possibility when our all-time high was $6.73. We're actually at the lowest was actually 30 cents. Now, those of you guys looking for a wallet, I have mine going over to the Leo wallet. I have that set up. It is a phone app, and as well as there's a browser opportunity too. And it does work really, really well. I've had good success with it. No real problems with the Leo wallet. I know a lot of you guys are interested in liquidity, and that's kind of a challenge for me. Like, I've been up in the air on, do I sell this every day? Because I've been such this like a lithium mindset and concerns on Kaspa. Like, do I need to be liquidating or swapping this every single day to something more long-term, like a Dogecoin or a Bitcoin or an Ethereum out there? Or do I want to continue holding it? And the miner in me is like, let's hold it. Let's hold it. Let's hold it, especially based off the price being at 37 cents. I'd probably be more comfortable selling 50, 60, 75 cents. So I'm kind of waiting on that. As I said before, those of you guys that are looking for liquidity opportunity, you can sell utilizing Coinbase, which does support ALEO as well. Now, I did get my unit from over at asicplug.com. They're a US-based company. They do accept credit card, which I know a lot of you guys asked me and reach out to me about. Right now, they're only supporting the AE Box. They don't have the AE Box Pro, if that's something you're interested in. And not yet. They said they will be having the new IceRiver AE0 coming out very, very shortly. So overall, would love some of your thoughts on just ALEO. Did you guys get in with GPU mining early? Are you gonna jump in on maybe that IceRiver AE0? Is that more interesting to you? Have you been burned too much with Alephium Kaspa? You're like, nope, no thanks, I'm not getting into it. I'd love to know your interest in this. If you guys want to see my full unboxing and setup video of the Goldshell AE Box, check the link directly down below. All right, guys, have a good one. Special shout out to today's video sponsor, Apexto Mining. If you're in the market for your next ASIC miner, go no further than apextomining.com. Apexto Mining carries some of the most popular models on the market. To name just a few, the Bitmain Antminer L9 and L7, the AlphaPex DG1 Plus, the Bitmain Antminer S21 Pro, and finally, the IceRiver AL3. Home miners have a home over at Apexto Mining, with some amazing deals on units like the IceRiver KS2 Lite Kaspa Miner and the AL2 Lite Alethium Miner. Some of my favorites include the AlphaPex DG Home 1 and the new Flu Miner L1 Script Miner. Finally, two major reasons I like buying from Apexto Mining. Finding a reliable source for your ASIC purchases can be challenging. With Apexto Mining, they simplify the process, ensuring you buy with confidence and ease. And the big one, Apexto Mining accepts not only bank transfers, but crypto payments to make life easier. Head on over to apextomining.com today and use the promo codes down below in the video description for a discount at checkout.